Good is the enemy of great. Proper preparation prevents poor productivity. The mind forgets, but the body remembers. The body reacts. The body does what it's muscle memory. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the DNG podcast. And as you guys can see, I've got my coffee today. It's actually it's a coffee mug my wife gave me. It says hubby. The reason why I got my coffee is because we're going to be talking about sales, and I'm going to be giving some tips to sales professionals. And guess what? Coffee's for closers. So let's get started. So what I want to talk about here today is the 5 M's, the 5 P's, and the 80-20. Okay, the 80-20 may be something you guys are familiar with, that you've heard before very often, but the 5 M's, maybe not so much, the 5 P's. So what are the 5 M's we're going to start with? The 5 M's stand for more meetings mean more money. Pretty simple, right? More meetings mean more money. Here's the thing. As a sales professional, you have to know what are the things that move the needle. You have to know the difference between activity and productivity. You know, most people around the world, they're busy, but they're not very productive and they're not very successful. Even at the gym, you may go to the gym and there's a bunch of people there being busy doing nothing, right? They're taking pictures and stuff, and they're walking around, they're saying hi to people. When I go to the gym, for example, I go to the gym to work out. I don't talk to anybody. Got my earphones on and I'm working out and I'm productive. I want to get my workout in 40 to 45 minutes. Before the workout, I get in the cryo and whatnot, and I do the massages afterwards. They got some cool things at my gym. But the point that I'm getting to is, as a sales professional, more meetings mean more money. I recommend that you watch, if you haven't already watched How to Double Your Sales, that link is in the description here. Make sure you click on that link and watch it. If you want to make more money in sales, it's a very simple concept. The more meetings you do, the more money you're going to make. So identify how are the ways for you to get in front of more people, for you to get in front of more homeowners. For example, let's take a real estate agent, for example. If you're a real estate agent and you want to get more listings, well, the question is, how can I get more in front of more homeowners to do a listing presentation so they can list their property with me? If you are a door-to-door salesperson, which real estate agents qualify for this category as well, okay, simple. How many people are you talking to? The more doors you knock, the more contacts you make, the better you're going to do. But the bottom line is the 5 M's. More meetings mean more money. So how many people are you sitting down with on a monthly basis on average? Guess what? You have to know your numbers. One of the things that I gave, as a matter of fact, in the video, How to Double Your Sales, I said you have to think of yourself as a sales professional and as a business, as an entrepreneur. You're not just a sales professional. If you want to be a high performance sales professional, do not only think of yourself as a sales professional, but think of yourself as a business. And guess what? A great business, if you look at a very successful business, look at, for example, Starbucks, look at McDonald's. I don't consume either of those very often. I consume Starbucks significantly more than McDonald's, but we can't deny the fact that they are successful businesses. Guess what they know? They know their numbers. If you are a sales professional, you go into the month and you have no idea, you just know, I'm going to go prospect, I'm going to go network, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do presentations this month, but you don't know how many you did last month and how many you plan on doing this month. Guess what? If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. You've got to have a DMO, a daily method of operation, and you've got to know how many presentations you're going to do this month, how many you're averaging. Because guess what? If you're averaging to sit down with 10 customers per month to present to them, right? Guess what? That average, now you know, okay, if I want to make more sales, if I sit down with 20, I'm probably going to make double the sales, which again is in the video, How to Double Your Sales. But the bottom line is 5 M's mean more meetings mean more money. Find out how many meetings or meetings/presentations that you've been doing. And guess what? Get busy and getting more of them. But you have to know your numbers first. Let's go to the next one. The 5 P's. The 5 P's is proper preparation prevents poor productivity. So basically, you have to be prepared because, again, proper preparation prevents poor productivity. So whether it's a presentation that you're going to do in public, I do a lot of that. Whether it's a presentation you're going to do for a homeowner, for your prospective buyer, whatever that may be, right? Knowing the presentation by heart having it in memory is a great hack for you to be a better presenter. That's a form of being prepared. Guess what? When I was 18 years old, I used to go door knocking, right? That's when I started door knocking for the first time. And we used to practice pitch for about 30 minutes to an hour, all right? Minimum, non-stop practice pitching. We were getting prepared. So not only am I preparing my presentation, I know it to memory. If I'm doing a presentation in front of people, I know the slides. All I got to do is look at the slide and I know how I'm going to explain that slide. I don't have to read the bullet points. I know the bullet points. I know how to explain it. So very often, this is also advice for public speaking. Very often people ask, well, JC, how do you become a good public speaker? Well, practice, of course, is one of them. But another simple hack is know the presentation inside and out. See it many times. See it from different speakers. You practice it yourself. This is a big part of being a presenter. When I sell probably more solar individually than probably anybody in the world in the solar industry. That's the industry that I'm in. I sell a ton of solar. But now I'm duplicating a bunch of other people to sell solar as well. Well, guess what? When it comes to selling, I do the exact same presentation every single time. I sell via Zoom. I've got a PowerPoint. I've got the same Zoom link, and I've got the customer's proposal. These are the three tools that I use. If the customer needs me to email them, if I don't close a deal right then and there, they need me to email them something, right? Let's say the proposal for them to think about it, for them to compare, for them to talk to a spouse, if in case a spouse was in there, which that rarely happens because I don't really take appointments unless both decision makers are there. But the point is, I have the template available that I'm going to email them. I just upload their information, but the template is already made. And then I just edit, their name and some of their numbers and whatnot. But it's got the videos, it's got the information about our company, it's got the warranty information already in the template, right? So I am prepared when I go into a meeting because I understand that proper preparation prevents poor productivity. Who wants poor productivity? Nobody wants poor productivity, but guess what? Most salespeople are simply that. They're salespeople, or at least they claim to be salespeople. Very few are sales professionals. A professional knows his numbers, his or her numbers. A professional is prepared. A professional knows how many meetings they're going to do this month. A professional memorizes that presentation. So you've got to be prepared. What you also want to know is okay, what are the most common objections that you get? Usually there's anywhere on average between 3 and 7 objections, about half a dozen. About half a dozen of the most common objections. Guess what? Not only should you know what they are, but you should know how to overcome those objections. And then a step further, again, being prepared, being a professional, role play, saying the way to overcome that objection. You have to role play it. So the mind forgets, the body remembers. I teach this to my son in kickboxing, boxing, karate that I teach him, and then in jiu-jitsu. My son knows if you say to him, the mind forgets, he will finish your sentence and he will say, and the body remembers. When it comes to, for example, fighting, I kickbox and I'm a black belt in karate. We do drills. We do let's say jab, cross, hook, roundhouse kick. Jab, cross, hook, roundhouse kick. And we do it over and over and over and over. We practice blocks over and over and over. So even if you're fatigued, you don't have to think about it. The mind forgets, but the body remembers. The body reacts. The body does what it's muscle memory. Same thing with overcoming objections. But if you just know these are the most common objections, and yeah, I know how to answer those, but you never practice them. You never get in a real scenario. You never get a partner to give you that objection. Then you overcome it. Then they give you a little bit more. You're exercising your mind. Guess what? That right there is one of the things that separates the good from the great. And let me give you a little tip. In winning, in business, in life, good is the enemy of great. Good is the enemy of great. The people that don't master the 5 P's, the 5 M's, and a lot of these things that I'm teaching you here, and not only me, but a bunch of people are teaching, right? They are stuck on simply doing okay. They're stuck on simply being good. Guess what? Good is not good enough to a winner. Good is not good enough to a champion. If you want to be great, guess what? You have to understand and adopt the philosophy, good is the enemy of great. The reason why most people don't get to great is because good is good enough. How'd you do last month? Oh, I did good. Yeah, you know what? On average, I make $10,000 a month. I made $10,500. I made $11,000. I made 10% more. I did good. That's why they'll never be great. Guess what? They probably don't know their numbers. They're probably not super prepared. For example, one of the things that I have extra HDMI cords because I do a lot of presentations in front of people, right? One of the ways I get business in my solar business, I have 1,000 people selling solar, but we're always onboarding people to send us business. Real estate brokers and real estate agents are some of them. I go to real estate companies and guess what I do? I go to them and I offer to do presentations for them, like a mindset training presentation for 45 minutes to an hour. I have extra HDMI cords. I have extra clickers. I have them in my office. I have them in my house. I have them in my computer bag. Why? Because I understand proper preparation prevents poor productivity. I don't want poor productivity. I want exceptional productivity. I want exceptional results. Good is not good enough for me. I strive for great. So good is not good enough. If I did good, in my opinion, I didn't succeed. I don't like to use the word fail, but I did fail because my objective is to do great. And then finally, some tips to close off. Here's the deal. The 80-20 rule. In any sales organization, 80% of the people will do the small production. 80% will do 20% of the production. 20% of the people will do 80% of the production. If you guys follow my channel, you guys have followed me for a long time. I train on this all the damn time. Also, you should be doing, let's say, for example, you're not where you want to be in your sales career. You should be focusing, 80% of your time on MMA activities. MMA meaning money-making activities, things that move the needle. What moves the needle? What gets you in front of people? I'll give you an example. If somebody comes to me and they say, JC, I want to be successful in the solar business with you. What should I do? Here's what I say. It's very simple. You've got to go out there and prospect. Here's some of the ways to prospect. Door knocking, new homeowners, calling leads, whatever the case is. And 80% of your time to create that momentum should be dedicated to that. You do that. Then eventually you've got customers. Now you move on to the next phase where you're building your database. You have your customers in the CRM. You're following up with them. You're building a sales organization. Now you're making leverage income. Eventually it gets to the point where 80% of your time you're spent closing deals and 20% of your time you're generating business. You're answering questions. You're taking referrals and whatever the case may be. But in the beginning, 80% of your time should be spent on money-making activities, which is what? Prospecting. Getting in front of people and asking them if they're interested. Getting a yes, getting a no. Are they open to what you are selling? That should be 80% of your time. But you know what most people do? Most people, let's say they work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week in a sales job. They only really do about 8 hours of productive work. That's the reality. If you go to a real estate office, you go to any of these sales offices, you got a bunch of these hoverers. They're hovering the office. Hey man, how was your weekend? Hey, what do you got going on this weekend? Hey, happy hump day. Hey, thank God it's Friday. These are broke ass people philosophies. Thank God it's Friday. Why, you want to take the day off? You can't wait for the weekend? Like your job sucks? In their mind, it's kind of like, the end of the week is, what is it? WTF, right? You know what I'm saying by WTF. I'll probably put it, something on the video, right? To most people, the end of the week is like, what the, right? Guess what? To winners, they look forward. We look forward to Monday. Why? Because we want to do some business. We want to get people to sign on the line that is dotted. We want to get the business. We want to get GTC, get the cash, get the contract, get the commitment, get it done. And ABC, always be closing. So guess what? Focus on what you got to focus on. 80-20 rule. Make sure that at least 80% of your time is spent on prospecting to get more meetings, 5 M's, and make sure that you're prepared with the 5 P's. So with that being said, I said it, I meant it, and I'm here to represent it. See you guys at the top or from the top. Take care.